Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. A federal court case just obliterated Trump's sweeping Liberation Day tariffs, giving Wall Street a boost and the global markets a sugar rush. Elon Musk has officially quit the Trump administration, walking away from his Doge efficiency mandate after turning on Trump's spending spree. Meanwhile, RFK Jr. shreds vaccine norms by cutting COVID shot recommendation for children and pregnant women without CDC backing. But it gets a little bit wilder. These are some of the news updates we're going to go over this morning. The Trump administration moves to revoke Chinese student visas in a mass. Wall Street pulls off a $1 billion escape on Musk's Twitter deal debt. A federal judge slams Trump's attempt to end humanitarian parole. And the U.S. slaps visa bans on foreign officials who censor Americans online. And of course, a House Democrat is probing Trump's Memecoin dinner for crypto elites, which seems very, very enriching for a president to have his own meme coin while he's in office and make millions of dollars for that very same thing. Nonetheless, let's jump right in because, as stated before, a federal court has struck down President Trump's expansive Liberation Day tariffs, ruling that he exceeded his authority by imposing them under emergency powers. And this decision has sent shockwaves through global markets, with majority indices like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100 surging over 1%. The court's ruling challenges the administration's aggressive trade strategy, casting uncertainty over ongoing negotiations with countries like China and the UK, while the White House plans to appeal. The immediate effect is a boost in investors' confidence and a potential easing of inflation pressures. And what that simply means is that the markets are going to be volatile for another 3 to 6 months, given the court ruling and what the Trump administration plans to do going forward. Elon Musk has officially ended his tenure as head of the Department of Government Efficiency in the Trump administration. Musk's 130-day mandate focused on streamlining federal operations, but faced criticism for his aggressive cost-cutting measures. In his farewell message, Musk expressed gratitude to President Trump and signaled that his mission to reduce government efficiency will continue through other avenues. I don't know if that's exactly true, because it kind of goes against what Elon Musk was stating just the other day, which was very contradictory about President Trump's one big beautiful bill and how it counteracts some of the efforts that Doge actually made while he was headlining that position. So again, they're kind of trying to be friends, but Elon Musk came out publicly and stated that the one big beautiful bill goes against fraud, waste, and abuse, one of the top missions of Doge, and now he's giving the president praise. I believe to a certain degree, of course, he wants to stay in good graces so he can continue to receive federal billion-dollar government contracts. This is a money ploy because, again, you're speaking blessings and cursings out of the same mouth. Who can we trust? Now, again, we can trust Elon Musk to a certain degree when it comes to the cost-saving methods and some of the methodologies and strategies he used to cut billions of dollars from the federal tax budget, $160 billion to be exact, and revealing a lot of the fraud, waste, and abuse. But when it comes to his character, his morals, his ethics, again, doesn't rule by law. But nonetheless, he just stated the other day that the bill that President Trump signed into law was stupid. I mean, he didn't say the word stupid, but of course that's what he meant, because it goes against every single thing, and this is his word, and I'm paraphrasing. It goes against every single thing that Doge was stood up to cut. So again, it goes against the very fabric of what Doge was created for. But now he's giving the government, he's giving President Trump praise. The Trump administration has announced plans to aggressively revoke visas for certain Chinese students, particularly those studying in critical fields or with ties to the Chinese Communist Party, meaning the government. Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasized that this move aims to protect national security and intellectual property. The policy also includes revising visa criteria to increase scrutiny for future applications from China and Hong Kong. So the Trump administration is being even more discriminatory, what they deem is going to be in an effort to secure national security and not to attack national security by allowing certain students who may have ties to the Chinese Communist Government Party inside of our country and attend our schools. So again, this is hearsay. I don't know how they'll get to, solidifying proof or evidence unless, that particular student made some sort of social media post that we can then say, okay, this is what he said. So we know for sure where he aligns at. So again, this is more in line with the trade tariff wars that Donald Trump has implemented. And he's doubling and tripling down because, again, China is one of our huge trade partners next to Mexico and Mexico and Canada. So again, he's using all sorts of twists and tricks and discriminatory practices in order to get his way. So if you're for that, might want to look at your morals. And if you're against that, what is the bigger ploy here? Is this to hurt China? Is this to hurt Chinese students? Or is just a different strategy and or method for us to get our trade tariffs to 1% where China will accept? And then, of course, we will start doing big business with China once again. But don't forget, the court ruled against Trump tariffs. So we'll see how long that essentially lasts. We'll definitely see how long that will last. Now, Wall Street banks have successfully offloaded nearly all of the $13 billion in debt tied to Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter, also known as X. Initially burdened by the deal, banks capitalized on improved market conditions and investors' appetite to sell the debt, mitigating potential losses. This maneuver demonstrates Wall Street's resilience and strategic acumen in managing high-stakes financial deals. No, this is the rich staying rich. See, when the rich has debt, they know how to offload their debt. They know how to leverage their debt. They know how to hide that debt. They know how to erase their debt. They have all these methodologies of staying rich. You don't see too many rich people, once they become billionaires, stop becoming billionaires. There's very few billionaires who, in their lifetime, decrease billions to millions, unless they went through some sort of court proceedings like Sean Puffy Combs, also known as Diddy. So again, Kanye West, they had to do very inflammatory things. But I'm trying to figure out, has there been any non-black person who became a billionaire who lost their billions and turned to a millionaire because of bad business deal and or investments? Nope. I can't think of not one. I'm pretty sure there's some. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there's some. But in my lifetime, I really haven't found any, unless it was the crypto market king, where he did a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. But again, bad business deal and bad investments, I can't find no non-black billionaire who've done such thing. And the court had nothing to do with it. People say Bernie Madoff, but Bernie Madoff was a fraud. He was a scam artist. He was a hoax. So again, any billionaire that was non-black, I just can't think of that person. Please leave that in the comment sections below. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has announced that the COVID-19 vaccines are no longer recommended for healthy children and pregnant women, because this decision, made without the traditional CDC advisory process, has sparked controversy among public health experts who argue that it undermines established vaccine protocols. The CDC's official guidelines still recommend vaccination for these groups, leading to confusion and concern over public health messaging. Again, this is why the American people voted for RFK Jr., because a lot of the things and vaccines that Americans were receiving, comes to find out through journals and research and developments, we absolutely didn't need, which is causing a lot of our children to have autism, to have all these other ailments and deficiencies after being born because of the vaccines of their parents. So again, we have to look at the long-term effects of what he's doing. And this is one of the reasons why I also supported RFK out of all the other people that they had in the running for this position. In my opinion, he was the best choice. I didn't say he's best or he's great, but he was just the best choice when it comes to this position and head of the HHS. So again, we'll see the further updates and changes he make that could benefit Americans long term. A federal judge has ruled that the Trump administration unlawfully ended humanitarian parole programs that allow hundreds of thousands of migrants to live temporarily in the United States of America. And, anytime that a lot of these people use, the word migrant, they just mean illegal immigrants. Because the court found that the Department of Homeland Security failed to provide a reasonable explanation for halting renewals, rendering their suspension legally vulnerable. This decision challenges the administration's broader efforts to restrict immigration and pursue mass deportation. And if you see this is the email that you guys see on your screen here that a lot of people was receiving. It says, notice of termination of parole. It is time for you to leave the United States. You are currently here because the Department of Homeland Security parole into another state for a limited period. And it gives some sort of legal reference of what law or something that they came up with. But nonetheless, the courts are the ones who are slowing the progress of eradicating and deporting a lot of the illegal immigrants. So again, as I stated many, many times before, some of the things that President Trump is doing, I agree with, and a lot of things that I disagree with. But this is definitely one of the things I do agree with. Illegal immigrants should not be in our country, and we have our courts slowing the progress of people who do not supposed to be in our countries who's staying in our country. So again, we have a large issue with laws and who is, enforcing these laws in our country. The U.S. government under Secretary of State Marco Rubio has announced new visa restrictions targeting foreign officials who censor Americans on social media. The policy aims to penalize individuals who impose or threaten legal actions against U.S.-based social media expressions or pressure American tech platforms to adopt international content moderation standards. This move reflects an intensified stance by Washington to defend free speech and digital sovereignty. What this means is that any person who's not an American citizen, either domestically or abroad, who speak any sort of anti-American sentiment will be banned from entering the United States of America. They will be banned from entering the United States of America if you say anything anti-America. Now, this also should include anyone who states anything that is anti-Semitic. Because don't forget, they have detained people, they have deported people who have stated certain things that they deem anti-Semitic. So again, if you're not an American citizen, some of this news you need to be really adhering to, or you will be deported given your status. Now, I wanted to point this out because here's some of the things that definitely occurred during President Trump's Memecoin dinner. It states that Representative James Raskin has launched an investigation into a private dinner hosted by President Trump for top investor in his Memecoin. The event, held at Trump's Virginia Golf Club, rewarded the Memecoin top 220 holders, raising concerns over potential conflicts of interest and violation of ethic norms. Raskin has demanded a detailed list of the dinner guests and the sources of the funds they used to buy the cryptocurrency. So basically, they're doing an investigation. I wanted to break this down because, again, I believe that watches were giving to these 220 investors that were worth $100,000 who invested, millions of dollars inside of this meme coin that, again, have increased the wealth of President Donald Trump. Now, here's some of the key details that they stated. It says the 220 holders of Trump's meme coin, the top 25 were granted VIP status, including a more intimate gathering and a White House source. So you got a closer look, a more intimate gathering with President Trump himself. And it states here that the cost of the attendance, The average cost for a seat was estimated to be over $1 million. 1/3 of attendees spent over $1 million to qualify, with the average winner spending nearly $1.8 million. In total, the 220 winners spent $394 million on the cryptocurrency. It says, invitees included Bill Zankin, a business partner of Trump and head of the company that created the Trump Memecoin, former NBA star Lamar Odom, who is promoting his own Memecoin Odom, and Adria Gonzaki, a board member at European Energy Company. Controversy: the event drew criticism from ethics experts who raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest as Trump leveraged his position to promote his crypto ventures. And lastly, in summary, it states here that the dinner served as a way for President Trump to connect with and reward major investors in his Trump meme coin, but it also sparked controversy regarding potential ethical implication. And I guess my only question with this: does the president has the capacity, the authority, the right to still conduct business deal as being the commander in chief? I mean, is there any sort of impropriety because of their position that people will bend the knee and invest inside the president because he has the ultimate position of the country where he has influence over markets? So is this a conflict of interest? Is this anti-constitutional? Is this against any laws, SEC laws? I mean, anything financial, does it go against the position of the presidency? These are some of the questions that I think people should have all together. Last but not least, I do have a video clip for you guys to chime in. I really want to know you guys' take on this particular story, and leave your comments below.
An upstate pastor and his wife have been arrested and face several charges for abuse allegations involving children. That is according to Greenville County deputies.
Rashad Williams has the latest on this investigation. Rashad.
Deputies say 73-year-old Myron Shorbajian and his wife, 70-year-old Kathleen, were arrested on fugitive from justice warrants earlier this month in Nashville. Shorbajian is facing more than 20 charges. He is the pastor at Greenville Southern Methodist Church on Fork Shoals Road. That's according to the church Facebook page. Myron's wife faces 16 charges in connection with the case. Deputies say an investigation was initiated after a victim contacted law enforcement back in April. We're told the abuse reportedly began back in the 1980s. The pair is currently behind bars in the Greenville County Detention Center.
An upstate pastor and his wife have